What's up guys, Cody here today with Gnar versus Illoai. So this is a fun game because I got last pick top lane. I was like, oh okay, I'm gonna go up against an Illoai. This should be fun for me.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
It wasn't fun until I figured out how to play Gnar. Because it's been a while since I've played him, but the game turned out really well once I got going with my strategy. So pretty much, Illoai ended up getting a lot of Qs on me because that Q range is just slightly larger than what it actually is, what it says it is. So you can see we're trading back and forth a little bit now. I can beat her kind of right now, and she's having to use her flash. But as you can see, it's starting to get rather bad for me because I'm not avoiding her Qs or anything. I am avoiding her her E grab though, which is kind of important. He really, like, to beat Illoai, you have to, yeah. So right there, I was trying to stop myself from becoming a vessel there by attacking Illoai because I thought I could survive a bit longer, but I couldn't, unfortunately. But he does come in and get the kill, so. And then because I don't want to miss any CS, I TP back in. So I mean, it wasn't bad. It was a 1 for 1. I didn't get an assist though, unfortunately. So. So I was 6, trying to do something. Well, I had the advantage. There we go, that's better. And I'm just trying to beat her at a distance right now. I think, yeah, this is the part where I kind of start getting smart how to beat her. It's pretty much just, I remember how to play Gnar pretty much. Just start using my boomerang. When she's got no cooldowns, go in on her type of thing. Or when her spells are on cooldown, go on her. Keep being a nuisance. And keep just missing, keep getting hit by those Qs. Whenever Illoai procs that W, you gotta just be careful. See a tentacle around, you gotta not stand next to it. So Malzahar comes in, uses his ult, I go Mega, and we get the kill. Malzahar, I think, yeah, Malzahar, let me check. Yeah, he accidentally took the wrong masteries. Because Malzahar should be taking Deathfire Grass. Because it's like, that's what you should be taking, like Brand and Malzahar and Emo and maybe Fizz. Just because of the, it's like a mini Ignite almost. It's just annoying to deal with. But, so he took the wrong masteries and that's a somewhat of a setback for him. But as you can see, I am trying to just kind of hassle her. Okay, I see that all of her cooldowns are off, so I go in and trade with her. And she flashes and dies because she is an idiot. She doesn't realize that she couldn't kill me, so that I'm just smart. So yeah, one thing that helps is playing around her cooldowns. If you can play around her cooldowns, then you'll be pretty good. see. I think, yeah, I'm a vessel, right? No, I'm not. Okay. Just play around those cooldowns with Gnar. You end up doing really good. Because when you see that those cooldowns are down, that means she has no damage anymore. All she has is her autos, and that's when you can go in. Granted, they're really short cooldowns, but it's less time that she has to deal damage. And so he comes in, and we grab a kill. Because Gnar has so much CC when he's in Mecha that there's no escaping. Which is one of the reasons why I love Gnar, and I stay too long, which is dumb on my part. But Gameplank for some reason decides to use his Ignite, which just helps Malzahar more than anything else, because Malzahar against Gameplank is not a fun matchup for the Malzahar. Just because Malzahar's ult is pretty much useless against him. It's just like, there's more damage, but the disable is not there. So I'm trying to not become a vessel here, and I die once again because I'm not playing around those cooldowns. Sometimes it's just better to also lag there actually. Sometimes it's just better to become a vessel. But it doesn't matter. I'm not doing good, but neither is she, as you can see. She's 2 and 4 right now, and I'm 2 and 3. So, I mean, I haven't like solo killed her yet, but from my experience, if you like camp the Illoai a little bit as a jungler, camp the enemy Illoai, you'll end up doing quite fine. So, Vi did burn her flash on that to get me. So. And then they all get stuck. Jinx misses everything, and Malzahar goes in to try and help, and that pretty much he becomes a vessel. So a lot of times I don't choose Gnar for the laning phase. I choose him for team fights. Because when Gnar goes mega, that means you go in and you start wrecking. And it is just complete overkill. Because of all the CC Gnar has. Yi goes in, I'm about to go mega, so I know it's time for me to jump in. I see my chant, I get rid of the Illoai, because I jam the Gameplank in there. Ali ults and completely misses his Q. And then Karma flash, but then Vi comes in, tries to get this Jinx. She actually gets it somehow, and then she dies. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And they know that they can't chase Alistar because Alistar is too tanky, and I'm there. And I deal quite a good bit of damage with Gnar. So just a lot of times, like, even if I lose lane, like, technically I lost lane as Gnar, I lost 1 tower. But, I mean, I just have, versus an Illoai, like, Illoai will bring damage to the table, and she'll be annoying in that sense. But, as you can see, Illoai's dealing a ton of damage, but I CC'd everyone in that fight. So they couldn't do anything. And then Malzahar ults the Illoai to stop any shenanigans. Then Karma just can't escape this. I've got red buff and I have my Q slows. And that pretty much secures the kill for you, and I didn't realize there was a tower there, so I walked through it, but we got an ace. We can't get this tower. Yeah, we can't get the tower, unfortunately. yeah, we all escaped. Except for you.
Blue team's
So things are going pretty good. And the Illoai jumps in. I mean, she got a jinx, but we killed 2 of them. And so we noticed Illoai and Fire down, so we're like, okay, we gotta go check. And I lag out there and end up placing 2 wards instead of 1 like I wanted. So we grabbed Baron, and we're kind of running out of ideas. We were running out of places to run because the Gangplank ult decimated G. And so I was like, oh well, they're coming now. I'm gonna just eat over the wall then once the thing is done, and then Ali got caught out by that, and he couldn't just go anywhere. So too bad for him. I see that they're all there, and for some reason they decide to try and fight in this disorientated group. As you can see, the rest of their team was focused on the alley vessel, while Vi was coming after me, who I screwed her over. Illoai then goes in by herself for whatever reason. I don't know why, because you're not really gonna kill an Alistar that fast. And then it's a 3v4, so yeah, I mean, they can't really. There was no good ending in that, because they just win them 1 by 1 at the beginning. So and that's gonna secure us 2 mid towers, and we were losing before this technically. Technically we were losing before this, but because they're not playing right, and they're just going to 1 by 1, and that's causing an issue for them. And the fact that I am Gnar causes it to be, our team fights to be much more superior than them. Like, from what I found out, what I've seen of how this season's going, any good CC to like keep any good CC to keep the have peel for your ADC and mage is extremely good. Like, if you can have peel for your damage dealers on your team, and I mean if you have like really good CC in team fights, then you've got this down, because people just can't deal with the fact how much CC there is. Like, if you've got like if there's like a Nautilus, a Mumu, and Gnar on the enemy team, you know you're not doing anything all game. You know, when it comes to team fights, the Mumu's gonna jump in, Gnar's gonna ult, Nautilus is gonna ult. There's no hope for you, almost, and it's very likely that you will lose because of that fact. So if I ultimate, not smart. We actually have like no health, and then he goes in for some random reason to try and get something, but of course there's nothing there. So they all needed to back off. I don't know why they stayed with Jinx having like almost no health to begin with. So like we think we got this, and we do. It's like, it's quite a. The reason that they start doing really bad is because their Vi starts getting caught out on her own for whatever reason, and that might partially be because they have a lack of vision, which is another thing. Like, you gotta make sure you get those blue wards, the Farsight alteration, because that is super good right now. Like, and how he fails his flash, so funny. But like, because that's on a much, like, you should, at least one person on your team should have the Farsight alteration. It should probably be your ADC, because the Farsight alteration gives you It gives you a ward every 60 seconds, and you can have as many of them out as you want. The only downside is that, you know, people can see it and can just be killed easily. If you place it in the bush, though, people can't see anything until, you know, they're in the bush. And even then, I found people just kind of ignore it half the time. So right now, we know that we can fight them right now, and so it is we've got the whole team fight right now. I see Illoai, and I know that, like, okay, my cooldowns are down. I can't fight Illoai in Mega anymore. I need to just go back. I need to be in mini form so that way I can kite her. That's one of the intricacies with Gnar versus an Illoai, like, because anyone can lose against an Illoai rather easily if you don't know what you're doing. With Gnar, it is poke her down from a distance, kite her when you're midi, and then when you're about to go Mega, make sure, you know, you go in when she used her spells and they're on cooldown, so that way you don't have anything to worry about. Like right after she uses them, make sure you go in hard if you have Mega. Get some damage done. See if it's going to be enough to kill her, and if it's not, then back out, because if you're playing around the tentacle, her W is going to deal lots of damage. Granted, by this stage of the game, I'm not even building MR, because it's just a karma, and she's hurting me when she gets a hit off on me, but she's hardly ever getting hits off on me. So Black Cleaver as my first item. Typically, this game I think I built Sage first just because of the movement speed, and then I built Randuin's because they had Ez and Gangplank. So Gangplank, you know. And then, I mean, I start building a GA just, you know, so that way I have something for the karma, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Because, as you can see, the game has turned into our favor because we had a team fight. So, we waste a lot of time. It's kind of like playing a poke game with them. It's kind of fine by me, but I don't like just poking people down from a distance. So I try to make something happen. I see Illoai jumps in. I know I gotta be careful around that. We burn her down pretty fast, so I go back into mini, which means it's kite time. So I flash Q to secure a kill. I like that. And we stay much too long, and we kill them again. But we stay much too long because we kill Gangplank. I mean, he kills a lot of our guys. Or no, I was thinking of a different one. So I'm running away. It's quite funny because they can't catch me. Illoai's got a slow on me. She flashes. She's trying to use everything, and then Gangplank ends up dying. And Illoai ends up dying because they stayed way too long. And we screw up here. Just because we're just staying way too long. That's the whole time. And but we can beat them though. By now it's over, but I mean there's 4 minutes left in the game just because we screw around a bit too much. Unfortunately. So we're like, let's get Baron. I'm thinking, yeah, we get Baron, it'll be over after that, right? Well, technically, yeah, if we were playing smart, it would have been. But we kind of lose this team fight more than what we should have. I couldn't get a good ult off. And so we were screwed in that sense. And all my stuff's on cooldown now. So I'm trying to like do what I can. Fortunately, this G is at that stage of the game where he can do a lot of damage, and then I get to like tiptoe around with his Ezreal, and that causes issues because I can't actually beat him. Because he's just as more mobile than me. I flashed thinking I can beat him, and he eased away from me when I jumped in and stuff. But it doesn't matter. We've already won the game at this stage of the game, to this stage, so like there's nothing really to do anymore. We just need to do one final push to win. Like I screwed up by staying way too long, but they start going in one by one. They focus down Alistair's little vessel ghost thing. His soul, like yeah, his soul. And I'm just like, well, screw this, you know. We go after Illoai because Illoai is farther up than the rest of their team, and we just crush her. And because they're just so disorganized, we win. But a lot of hard CC can make a team disorganized. And it can cut, and it really punishes mistakes, which is why sometimes I will ban people with hard CC, because my teammates just don't know how to deal with it. They cannot comprehend the fact that, you know, they went in by themselves pretty much before anyone else and got shut down almost immediately because, you know, they were stunned and hooked and knocked up and everything. So that's the Gnar versus Illoai. So Gnar is pretty good if you, assuming you know how to play around Illoai and her tentacles. Yeah, it's pretty good. Gnar was one of my mains back a long time ago, so I knew what I was doing. But thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you learned a little. You enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks.